What's up, everyone? So I've been getting a lot of questions about my experience at Warrior Trading, and I thought I'll put together this quick video just to talk through my experience and give you guys an overview of what my thoughts were on the course, on the scanners and the charts that I still use, on the community and the chat room that you can also log into and watch Ross trade live, and also the simulator. So I thought I'd quickly cover these areas and hopefully will answer a lot of the questions that you have, because I've been getting quite inundated with messages about my experience at Warrior Trading and whether I would recommend it. So stay tuned and we'll dive right in. All right, before I start, so let me just clarify that I don't have any affiliation with Ross Cameron or Warrior Trading in any shape or form. I don't get any kickback or any commission or any discounts by doing this video. This is purely doing it for I'm doing this purely for my channel and for my viewers and the people who've been asking questions. And it's a way to sort of consolidate all those questions and hopefully answer some of those concerns that you may have. So before I start, let me tell you a bit about myself. My name is Ben. I'm a software developer and I've been trading full-time since February 2025. I signed up to Warrior Trading Pro memberships as of June 2024. And over the course of this period, I've completed around 600 hours or more of training material, live archives, etc. And during that time, I had access to the scanners, the charts, the chat room, the live feed that Ross puts out on a daily basis, as well as the simulator. Now, my access to the course lasts about 3 years. As part of that, I also had access to the charts and scanners and the community room, plus the live chat room and Ross's live feed for a period of a year, I believe. I also had access to the simulator as part of the full package that I bought, but the simulator access lasted only 3 months and I had to renew that after 3 months on a monthly basis. After the first year of using the community and the live chat room, etc., I didn't renew my membership, but I'm still using the scanners. Now, before I start talking about the scanners and chat room and so on, I'll quickly cover the course so we can have a better understanding of what's entailed. So very briefly about the course. So the course is very detailed. I don't need to go tell you exactly how detailed it is. You can go on the site and you can see breakdown of what exactly is covered. It builds a very strong foundation. If you're new to trading and you want to understand day trading, and especially you're interested in the strategy and the type of trading that Ross does, then it's a great place for you to start. There is a lot to get through, and as I said earlier, I went through 600 plus hours of training material, and I still haven't completed the whole thing. I find that I often go back now and revisit some of the classrooms that I had already watched, because at first you want to sort of get yourself familiarized with the terminology, with the different strategies. And then when you then start to putting things into practice, then you want to revisit some of those strategies and some of those classrooms to just understand or capture some of the detail that you may have missed. So I hope that answers your general concerns or feelings around what the course entails. But let me just quickly share my screen so you can see what it looks like when you actually log first into your members dashboard. So you're greeted with this area where it sort of keeps it very simple. But we're looking at the education bit where you look at the course material. So you have access to so for instance, these are the areas that are completed. And if I click on one of them, it tells you how many hours, for instance, I've done in one of these. And this is part of the Pro membership. As you can see, I've already completed 156 plus hours on this. But for instance, there are, if I go back and if I look at live trading archive, there are just hundreds of hours of live trade archive on here. So that's just a quick overview of what the dashboard looks like. I'm probably not doing it great justice, but I just wanted to give you a taste of or flavor of what you'd be greeted with when you log in first. Ross has done many reviews on it. And again, I'm not trying to sell his course. I'm just trying to explain what it entails and what you could expect. All right, now let's talk about the chat room and live trading community. I can't show you a demo of that because I'm not a member anymore. But as part of your charts, you will have, when you open up your chart window, which I'll show you next, you'll be able to click on a live link, which then brings up Ross's feed. And then you also have access to the chat room, to the mentor room, and so on. I found it very useful for the first year that I used, especially during a period where the market was hot, and just sort of being there every day and listening to Ross, looking at the comments, and just sort of realizing that you're in the same boat as a lot of other people and a lot of other students who've joined Warrior Trading. But what I did find is that I got a lot of FOMO from it. So I found that when I got to a point where I wanted to apply myself to and apply the strategies on my own terms, I found at times that it was very difficult to keep focused. So you could obviously mute the chat room, mute Ross, but it's very easy to let someone else's opinion affect your own judgment. So what I've found since I've stopped joining chat room, I've been able to analyze and make better progress than I did whilst I wasn't in the live feed and listening to Ross's commentary all the time. Reason being is that he would get into a trade and I would blindly follow him. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people do this, and I was stupid to do that. And he warns and tells you not to do this. But the FOMO gets the better of you, and you jump in a trade without realizing that you're actually doing it because you're following someone else rather than off your own back. So I found that, I'd sit back and I'm like, why did I take that trade? Like, where was my entry? How could I justify this trade? I couldn't. So, and again, I'm not putting that down to Ross or the community. It was my own personal issues of trying to compartmentalize and shut off that side of it off. And so I personally found when after 1 year I completed community, that my membership ended for the access to the live feed and the community, and I had to go at it on my own. I found that I made more progress in that shorter space of time because I was being forced to make decisions and be able to justify those decisions based on what I've learned. Again, that's my experience. I've obviously made mistakes. I'm not saying that you don't benefit from staying or being part of that live trading circle every day. There's always something to learn, and Ross has got a wealth of knowledge. He's just a master at what he does, and you can always learn so much from him. So it's always useful to be around someone who knows what they're talking about. But I decided that I didn't want to continue on the basis that I felt like it was affecting my trading. And maybe at some point in the future, I will join it again when I have more composure and I'm able to control myself better. But right now, I think I'm happy to continue with my access to the course and just dip in and out and listen to his recaps on a daily basis that he puts on YouTube, and that's how I keep up to date. All right, so now let's talk about the scanners. So the scanners are probably one of the fastest scanners out there because they're very quick to bring up volume that's spiking, price, high of day momentum moves. And I'll show you a quick demonstration of that just now. So as you, again, log into your Warrior Trading members dashboard, if you go into community chat stream and day trade dash, once you click on it, it will take you to the live trading room access. And you agree to it. So I've got a setting where as soon as I enter, it opens up 2 windows, and it's sort of set up with a layout that I am used to. So it opens up 2 windows. Normally, this window is what I have next to my level 2 time and sales, and then I have done this one that you are seeing right now as my main window where I'm watching the scanners and so on. So these scanners are pre-tuned and pre-configured. You don't have the ability to configure them, and like you might do with Trade Idea and a few other ones. And they're very much geared towards Ross's strategy and his style of trading. And normally what happens on a daily basis is that I turn up the scanners and I wait for something to hit one of these scanners, and then I can click on it. So this, if I click on it, it will open up on my other screen, but let's just, for the sake of demonstration, if I click on one of these stocks, it will open up on the chart that I've got open. And what they've done is they've embedded trade, they've embedded trading view, or is it trading view into, yes, it is trading view. Yes, trading view into their platform, but they have their own, I think, data feed that they feed into these charts. And the charts are pretty fast, and you have access to 10-second chart if you're trading. I mean, if you're going to learn Ross's strategy, you'll need 10-second charts, and 10-second charts are very fast. Obviously, this stock is not moving much, so you're not going to see much action there. Let me see if there's another one perhaps moving. SPR, is that moving at all? Not really. It's noon and nothing's moving. But anyway, so that's an overview of the charts. I do have one gripe with it though. The news feed can be quite slow. I found that, so the idea is that when you click on a particular stock, it populates the stock code and tells you what the news feed is. All right. And these flames are supposed to represent how fresh that news is. If it's red hot, then if it's red flame, that means fresh news and it's got fresh catalyst. But what I find that often not is that, for instance, CAPR will pop up on the scanners, which is great. You know, you pull it up, you're in there, you know, one of the first few people, and the news has been released at 8, but it doesn't show on the feed for like 5. I think the longest I've seen is 7 minutes. So you don't know whether you've got news on this stock or not. And I think I'm fine. Like it got to a point where I started looking at other places to go to for scanners, and I'm still keeping an eye out. But it's something that they need to fix. I'm not sure why they can't just fix it. It's quite super frustrating. My issue is if you've got a data feed, if your news provider is not giving you the feeds on time, then you need to swap them because you've got an obligation. The package is not necessarily cheap, considering that the scanners are not configurable. So if they are pre-configured and you're stuck with these scanners and you can't really adjust them to your liking, then the expectation should be that, you know, and you're charging quite a bit of money for it every month, then you should sort this out. And it's been going on for a long time, and it is very frustrating. So, for example, if CAPR popped up and I could see that it was pulling away, I would hesitate, and it's happened so many times where I've hesitated. I've missed a move, I've missed a good entry because I'm like, well, this is just popping up on no news, and I've had to resort to looking elsewhere for the news. And then 7 minutes later, something pops up. And the annoying thing is when it does pop up, it tells you that it's popped up on time. So, for example, the time stamp would be 8 o'clock in the morning, but actually, it isn't. So the time stamp is saying that the news came out at 8, but it actually shows like 7-8 minutes later. So that's my only issue with it. Otherwise, it's a really good scanners. They're quite fast. Apart from that, I would say crucial key bit of issue that they need to fix. Otherwise, it's got some good features. And again, it's configured towards Ross's style of strategy. You do have access to a lot of different scanners. I'm not going to go through all of these, but these are the main ones that I use. And I think, to be honest, most traders will be using those. And if you're new, if you're a beginner, that's all you need. All right, so that's the scanners. All right, let's talk about the simulator. So Warrior Trading offers their own simulator. It's a run on a Sterling Trader Pro, which is a platform that allows you to execute trades very quickly using hotkeys, some automation, and you have access to level 2 data, and you also have access to time and sells. So as part of the simulator that you get or you pay for on a monthly basis, you have access to the data feed, etc. It's a great place to practice and get used to the hotkeys and follow the strategies and implement them. It really is useful for reading level 2 and time and sells. But a water warning is that you could go green on a simulator and you could have a month or two of being green on a simulator, practicing the strategy. And but you then could switch to cash, real money, and you'll find that things are not working the way you expect them to. And part of the reason for that is that the simulator is just based on some data that's coming through, right? It's got some sort of algorithm which tries to mimic what it's like would be like to buy and sell on the market, and it bases it on the data that's getting through the time and sales, etc. I don't know the full ins and outs of it, but I imagine that's how it works. So, in terms of its ability to match your order, whether you're buying or selling, it does it very quickly. There's no slippage, there's no delay. You could buy, you could sell as many as you want. So you could get this have this wrong impression or expectation that that's what it's like in a real market. And I can tell you that it's not. So if you're going to use the simulator, just be aware of that. Be aware of that. Also, the other things is the other couple of other things which I like to point out is that you got to be careful not to build bad habits using the simulator, because it's not real money, and you suddenly get $25,000 in your fake account, your demo account, and that gives you a leverage of, I think, up to $50,000. Then you start sizing up, you start averaging down, and you do all the things that beginner traders do. And then why do I know that? It's because I've done that, and I've been there, and I know many people have done the same. I don't think there's hardly anyone out there who's been quite strict with it. And then you give into it. You give in because you want to have a green day. You want to have a green day, then you buy bigger shares, and you average down. You lose as quick enough. So I would be very careful and note down when you start realizing that you're doing that. I don't know what the solution is or how you'd get about that. I suppose that's to do with a lot of discipline. But I personally found that when I then switched to a live account, again, big order warning, don't put a lot of money in it. If you do that, is that I was sticking to very strict small share sizes, and I was able to experience what it's like to actually trade in the real market. When a breakout happens, how much offset do I need to have in order to be able to capture that breakout, and so on. And if something's flushing, can I actually sell? I mean, if you watch some of my recaps, you'll realize that I've been caught in some flushes or just not being able to get out. It's just don't get filled pre-market anyway, because there's no market orders pre-market. So yeah, I'll be very careful with that. But otherwise, you should definitely start with a simulator, especially getting used to the hotkeys, understanding how it works, even if it's for a month. Just to play around with it, just to see how it's set up. I don't particularly like Sterling Trader Pro. I used to think that's all I want to trade with, but I found that's quite slow. Dash Trade is it's the fastest one I've experienced so far. I think at some point I'll probably try the Lightspeed's own platform, which again is based on Sterling Trader Pro, I think. But anyway, the executions might be a lot faster. Anyway, I'm rambling. So that's on simulator. So now, would I sign up to the course again? I 100% would. Like, I just cannot see any reason why I wouldn't. If I was to start again now, but it was 10 years ago or in 10 years in the future, if I was to do it again, all over again, and if I knew what I know now, I would sign up 100%, because it's very difficult to find genuine traders out there who have got proven track record and are also there every day, showing up daily basis, like not hiding anything. They're not hiding behind a rock when the market gets cold, and they're just there every day trading the same strategy. Of course, when you start learning, you shouldn't expect that you're going to end up trading like Ross. You will trade similar to him, or you develop your own style of trading off the back of what you've learned. We're not the same. Everybody's different. So even though our trading style might be very similar, our execution, our tape reading, our experience will all vary and will have an direct impact on how we trade. And there are few people out there who've attended Ross's courses and have gone out and created their own courses now. But unfortunately, the market's gone cold, and some of them have not been able to keep up with the cold market, and sort of, for one reason or another, unfortunately, have failed to show the same sort of results as they did when the market was hot. But considering all the ups and downs over the years, Ross has been there every day, performing and bringing it home every day. Of course, he'll have big losers here and there, but yeah, I have a lot of respect for him, and I would totally sign up again. And if a friend of mine asked for a recommendation, where shall I start from? I'd say, here you go. This is where you could start from. All right. So one final question: if I was to do this all over again, how would I approach it? So I would start the course. Sign up to the course as I did. I would get to grips with the basic, because there's a lot of basic stuff that you need to get through and understand about the market, how it works, about just different terminologies, just getting that basics in about different filings and so on. Get through all those material and start working your way through the pro membership material, and focus on one or two strategies. There's a lot of strategies out there there's quite a few strategies that are available on the website, but I would stick to maybe one very obvious one from the ones that Ross recommends, and just stick to that. I wouldn't do what I did, which is spend quite a lot of time trying to learn and cover the study material, because when you come from a mindset of the education, like you need to learn everything before you actually go and apply it, you fall into this trap of, no, I need to understand everything before I can actually apply it. But what you don't realize is that by you putting yourself out there, you have a point of reference you can reflect on. I spent quite a few months just studying and not joining the live chat or the daily sessions, and not taking to the simulator sooner. And the way I would have done it now is I would spend the first couple of months trying to get myself up to a point where I understand, have good knowledge of the basic stuff, and I've got a strategy in mind that I want to practice on, and start looking for those technical setups that form part of my strategy and trade them on the simulator for the first month whilst I'm still sort of studying. Of course, it's very time consuming, right? It's very time consuming. There's a lot of stuff to go through, and if you're going to show up to the market as well, spend a couple of hours in pre-market, then also squeeze in studying, it's a lot, and I understand that. But if you're serious about it and you really want to make progress, talking about myself, that's how I would do it. Then after 1 month of being on the simulator, I think I'd switch to a real money account. That's what I would do. I'm not saying that that's what you should do. You should always practice and trade in the simulator first. And the reason I would switch to a real account is because then you get to understand, that would allow me to get introduced to what it's like to trade in a real market, what it's like to have emotion attached to your trades. And I would stick to very small trades, like sizes. I'm talking about 1-2 share sizes, and just try to park the P&L to one side and don't focus on how much is Russ is making or how much anyone else in the chat is making. Just focus on you and your strategy. And that's all you need to focus on for the next 6 months. That's what I would do anyway. So I would have focused on my trading and my strategy for the next 6 months. Don't need to increase size. Don't need to rush anything. I just need to expose myself as much as I can, at least 3 months, just the same share size, just proving consistency. And the reason why I would do that again, which is something that I'm doing right now, is that every day is different. Every day you're going to get a new challenge, a new set of technicals that you got to deal with, or something unexpected is going to happen that you're not aware of or did not anticipate. So that's why you need that 3 to 6 months of sticking to very small share size and just turning up every day. And I mean it, you got to turn up every day, because you can't do 1 or 2 days a week and be like, okay, well, I'm green, so I'm ready. No, you got to turn up every day, and you got to show up and see those setups every day and try to look for those setups, try to understand what is happening. And by doing that, you're exposing yourself to as many anomalies as you could for the 3-4 months that the market will go through ups and downs. And right now we're in a cold market. I went through a very hot market where I made a lot of mistakes, and then didn't adjust to the cold market, had big size, and finally, really became serious and said that I need to do this right. So we've adjusted size, and now only trading with 20 shares. And I don't really care whether you're watching this because of the P&L or not, because all I really care about, my main focus is my trading. And the YouTube is the byproduct of that. It's just to sort of keep a track record of what I'm up to, and it's a way for me to journal. So that's what I would do if I was to go back, and I would definitely spend time in the simulator, but also consider going live sooner, but with very small amounts of money. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video and you found the information I provided useful. There's a lot to go through, but I hope you got a sense of what it's like to have done the course and be where I am now, been trading for almost a year now, full time. Of course, I'm not profitable, unfortunately, because of the mistakes that I said that I made. And that's why you gotta take your time and focus on the key metrics which help you progress. But again, this video is by no means a commercial or an advertisement for you to sign up to Warrior Trading. I'm sure there may be a handful of other good traders out there who put in out courses, but that's my take on it. That's my honest opinion of what the course is. And if anybody's watching from Warrior Trading and or Ross himself, this is by no means a way of me trying to put anything down. The honest feedback that I gave on the charts and scanners were my daily experience. So I hope that gets fixed soon. But otherwise, yeah, great overall package and education and support. I'm really, really grateful to have found this community and Russ. And it's a very genuine and hardworking guy. And, I suppose we all want to trade like him one day, right? So, I'll catch you all for a recap tomorrow.